Very good afternoon, everyone. So everyone is excited here, especially all the contestants, and we all are going to have a wonderful contest today. And I welcome you at this mock contest at Toastmaster Club of Lucknow. Before we move on to our main session, let me read our club mission: to provide a conducive supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. A few guidelines which we all have to follow here: that ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us to identify you easily. And all contestants and chief judges and contests here are requested to rename their name also. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. It can be done by clicking the participants tab to rename yourself. No, very important is that when your camera is on, and avoid doing any activity because that may distract the speaker here. Please mute your microphone except when it's your turn to speak to avoid background noises from interrupting the meeting. And please unmute your microphone and start your video when the toss contest here is he or she tells you to do so. Let the host and co-host handle all the controls. Refrain from speaking religion, sex, and politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech or evaluation or any table topic speech. Avoid conversations in chat publicly when someone is speaking, especially, as it may distract the speaker. Please raise your hand to ask any query if you have. Look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen, as those will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. At the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the polls on the screen. Now, I have honor to call someone on the stage who is today's contest chair. She has been a person very keen in psychology, but currently she is a person who is very much into public speaking and personal growth. She is none other than Toastmaster Manvi. Toastmaster Manvi, stage is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sajid Adams. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, leaders, and guests. I, Manu Kumar, am the Sajid Adams for the mock evaluation speech contest and table topic contest of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. The purpose of this contest, as defined by Toastmasters International, is to provide an opportunity for the speakers to improve their speaking abilities as well as for all the Toastmasters to learn by observing proficient speakers who have been benefited by their Toastmasters journey. In order to be eligible to compete in a contest, in an evaluation and table topic contest, a contestant must be a paid member of the club area, division, and district in which he or she is competing, be a member of a club in good standing. A new dual reinstated member must have dues and membership applications current with the world headquarters. The following are ineligible to compete in any Toastmaster speech contest. A member serving as a chief judge, voting judge, time-taking judge beyond the club level for the contest in which they are competing. Presenters of any education session at which the contest will be happening. It is my duty to apprise you all about the rules and regulations which may be strictly observed during the contest to ensure that we conduct a fair contest. Let's cover a few ground rules. To be eligible to participate, again, a contestant must be a paid member. That I confirm that all the members who are contesting today in the mock contest are paid. of a club in good standing, so all are eligible. In this contest, we'll be going ahead with the evaluation speech contest first. So in this contest, all the contestants will evaluate the same test speaker. We will begin the contest with the test speaker who will be delivering a 5 to 7 minute speech. After the speech, contestants will be given a 5 minutes to comprise their evaluation. For this contest, only first contestant will remain in the main room, then all but leaving the first contestant will be escorted to the breakout room. Contestants will leave aside their electronic devices to the sergeant at arms. In this case, we are online, so I request everyone to please fold your sheets when you are escorted to the breakout room. All the contestants will be brought back to the main room one at a time to deliver their evaluations. Evaluation shall be from 2 to 3 minutes. Contestant who speak for less than 1 minute 30 seconds and more than 3 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. Upon being introduced, the contestant shall start delivering their evaluation. Timing will begin by the contestant's first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. Usually, this is the very first word uttered by the contestant, but would include any other communication such as sound effects, stage act by the person. I confirm that all the officials have been briefed. Judges are instructed not to consider time in their ranking. There is 1 minute of silence between the contestants during which the judges will be marking their ballots. There will be 2 minutes of silence after the last contestant. Thereafter, silence will be maintained until the ballots are collected. For today's contest, we have 5 contestants for the evaluation speech contest. Contestant number 1, Nikhil. Contestant number 2, Archita. Contestant number 3, Suraj. Contestant number 4, Akshat. And contestant number 5, Honey. Mr. Chief Judge, I confirm all the contestants and role players have been briefed by me. Request you to kindly confirm whether the contest officials are briefed and are present in the room.
I confirm that I have talked to the contest master and timer just before the meeting. But I would also like to point out one guideline or rule in terms of technical difficulties. If a con- do you have something regarding that, contest master?
Maybe you can cover it up. I don't have that handy right now.
Okay, sure. So this, in case of a technical difficulties when giving their speech and contestant gets is inaudible as in their due to network bandwidth issues or gets dropped off, you have then I'm right now I'm quoting a harder deadline, which is 30 to 45 seconds to reconnect and continue your speech from there on. Please note that you once you get dropped off or have a technical issue, please let the contest master and and or me know immediately so that we will stop the timer then and there and request the timer for a 30 to 45 minutes grace for or rather time for letting the contestant rejoin. If a contestant doesn't rejoin within those 35 to 48 seconds, you would not be able to continue with the speech. But once you join within 30 to 45 seconds, uh, you would be given an opportunity to continue your evaluation speech from where you had left off. Once you rejoin, the contest master will check with you again that you're present in the Zoom room and are audible and visible, and then give you an instruction to continue your speech from the last word or last sentence that contest master had heard. And you need to continue from your speech from there. In case of technical issues with timing, a 30-second grace is provided to the contestant beyond the 3 minutes and 30 seconds limit to finish their speech. That's it from my side. Over to you, contest master.
Thank you so much, Chief Judge. Contestants, are we ready?
One more thing regarding uh, protests. Would you like to cover that?
I intentionally skipped that, but still, I'll read that out. Protests are limited to eligibility, originality, and reference to other contestants' speech, and shall be launched by voting judges, contestants. Any protest shall be lodged with the chief judge or the contestant prior to the announcement of contest results. I have already checked all the contestants qualify the eligibility criteria for the originality. A maximum of 25% of the speech content can be borrowed, but the source of any such content must be mentioned in the speech. Should there be a situation of a protest for original or reference to another contestant's speech, the contestant will be given an opportunity to respond to chief judge before the decision is taken. That means if you want to raise a protest, contestants can raise it either to the chief judge or the contest chair, and voting judges will be raising it to the chief judge only, and that only can be raised before the announcement of the result. So that was the criteria that I intentionally skipped today. But thank you so much, chief judge. So contestants, are we ready?
All right, one correction there. The protest can be filed before the contest is adjourned. In case there are multiple contests being held together, the results are generally announced by the end of both of every contest that's done. But the contest is adjourned. Like say, if you're having evaluation contest now, we will adjourn the evaluation contest first and then continue table topic contest, and the results will be announced towards the end. So the protest should be filed before that particular contest is adjourned.
Thank you so much, chief judge. Chief judge, do I have your permission to begin the contest?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Contestants, I request you to please show the sheet that you will be referring during the speech and for writing your evaluation. A sheet that should be blank on both the sides. Okay, I can see. Got it. Thank you so much. Test speaker, can we have you on camera? I can see you. I am spotlighting you now. Test speaker, can you see the timer cards?
Yeah, sure.
Which color it is right now?
Yeah.
Which color it is?
Green, yellow, and red.
Thank you so much. Test speaker, can you please repeat after me? It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
It's a beautiful day to have a contest.
I confirm that the speaker is both audible and visible and can see the time. This is Toastmaster Dipasha. Rediscovering joy. Rediscovering joy. Toastmaster Dipasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manvi, and good evening to all the Toastmasters present here. How many of us remember drawing those mountains with river flowing through them, trees lined in the banks, and with a cozy house under a smiling sun? It's a classic scene, right? Many of us have sketched during our childhood. Let us go back to those nostalgic days we all have forgotten amidst our hectic schedules. I remember those days vividly and the particular drawing I used to draw every single time I was told to draw something. Later, we had drawings from our textbooks to copy onto our exercise book, and I especially used to hand them over to my artist uncle, who was my dad's friend, of course. But do you know something? I used to receive the praise for being the best young artist at that moment. Later in 2020, when we had our first lockdown, I remember my geography book opened wide for diagram practice. Well, I don't know where the book is now. But what I do remember is it sparked my motivation to start my journey as an artist. Well, I started my journey with a well known and beloved cartoon character. Any guesses? Well, it was Shin-chan, the most favorite and beloved character. I cut out a piece of his picture and added to my phone case, which gained me a lot of compliments from people and also boost my motivation to draw something new and more challenging. That was mandala art and rectangle art. I started my journey with an official drawing of Ma Durga, which featured one side of her face and the other side adorned with mandala art. It also encouraged me to draw some more artwork of Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha, Lord Krishna, also Ma Durga and Ma Radha. And do you know something? I had a drawing of Lord Shiva, which took me 8 continuous hours of hard work. When it was completed, it turned out to be the most stunning and breathtaking piece of my life. I was feared whether I could draw his hairs accurately, or his sword, or his power drum. But when it was completed, it took my heart away. And also, when I showed it to my parents, my mom, with a hidden smile, it's good. But my dad, he loved it so much that he wanted to frame it and keep it in the temple to worship it. Initially, I was shocked and embarrassed, thinking that people would judge it. As we all know, people are never satisfied with our success. They always put us down in any way possible. Later, realizing that self satisfaction comes from within, not by others' words. As our journey is all about self growth and self fulfillment. Coming back to the days of nostalgia, it reminds us that our perfection is not what we want. It's always about the imperfection that we try to make it better day by day. I used to fear that people would judge that drawing and make me discomfort or maybe keeping my morale down. But it was not the one. My parents supported me. I supported myself, and my drawings turned out masterpiece for me and my family. So in the end, let us take that piece of nostalgia with us and remember that perfection is not the part. It's about the journey and the love we put into our work. As Albert Einstein once said, creativity is intelligence having fun. So, and one more thing, remember, success and greatest achievement comes to those who dares to dream and also follow their passion relentlessly. Thank you and signing off.
Thank you so much, test speaker. May I request the timer to please share the timing taken by the test speaker?
Our speaker took 5 minutes and 3 seconds.
May I please request you to repeat?
5 minutes, 3 seconds.
Thank you so much. The test speaker took 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Now we will observe 5 minutes of silence for all the contestants to prepare their evaluations. I request the timer to please show the red card after 5 minutes. Thank you so much, timer. I'll request all the contestants to please stop writing now and fold your sheet into 4 to 5 folds. And make sure the sheet is visible throughout till your turn comes. So, requesting all the contestants to please fold your sheets. I can see Suraj, I can see Akshat, I also can see Hani and Archita. And Toastmaster Nikhil is still not there in the room. No worries, we'll go ahead with 4 contestants. I'll request the tech master come timer to please open the breakout room and leaving Toastmaster Archita, please assign everyone else in the main room, in the breakout room. Toastmaster Archita, please don't accept the invite if you got. If you received any breakout room invite, please don't accept it. I'll be visiting the breakout room for a second. I'll be back and we'll continue with the contest. Just give me a I cannot see Cheated in the room. Okay, he went to the breakout room now. Chief Judge, do I have your permission to begin the contest?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Contestant number 2, Archit Varanwal, I'm spotlighting you. Can you see the timer cards?
Blue, green, yellow, red.
I'll request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
With hand gestures. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I confirm that you are clearly audible and visible. Contestant number 2, Archita Baranwal. Archita Baranwal, contestant number 2.
Joy often hides in the simplest moments, waiting to be noticed and embraced. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, Chief Judge, and Contest Chair. The way the speaker Dipasha started her speech by asking a question. She explained us about the drawing which we used to make in our childhood, and the way she was explaining, I was able to like visualize that drawing, that mountain and the sun and that flowing water. So that was something amazing. Like I loved that in her speech. Then the way she explained the situation of making the drawing of Ma Durga, and she used her hand like for showing us that one side she drawed the uh, Ma Durga image, and one side she has made the mandala art. That was, I think, that was perfect, and I felt that I was again able to visualize that what she may have made. The thing I also loved about her speech and her speech delivery is her overall body language. Her hand gestures were so good. At the time she explained that the hairs, the sword, she showed that how it can look in a person's hand. So uh, these are the things I loved about her speech. And uh, Dipasha, to like to take your speech or to improve your speech a little bit or to take it to the next level, I have a few suggestions for you which you can like implement in your speech in future to make it better. So when you said that whatever you do, people will always take you down, they're always ready to take you down and they always take you back. At that time, when you also shared your feeling that I used to fear of that, at that time you could have shown a little emotion. It would be amazing if you could have showed that I was feared, something like that with your facial gestures. The second thing was the structure. Your whole speech was amazing, but there are a little bit of like the body, like the starting, then body, and then conclusion. I I missed there a little. And the third thing is the purpose. I felt a little distracted from there. And lastly, to summarize, I just want to tell you that your hand gestures, that you excel at your hand gestures, and I suggest you to improve your like a little bit of your emotions. And if you use them, you may skyrocket your speech in future. All the very best for the future. Thank you. Contest chair.
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. In the meantime, I'll request the tech master to bring in the contestant number 2. Also show the red card once 1 minute is over. Thank you so much, timer. I can see contestant number 3 in the main room. Contestant number 3, can you see the timer cards?
Yes,
Can you please confirm the color of the card?
green, yellow, red.
Thank you so much. May I please request you to repeat after me? It is a beautiful day to have a contest. 1, 2, 3.
It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
1, 2, 3 with hand gestures.
It is a beautiful day
To
to
have a
have a
contest.
contest. To have a,
Thank you so much. I confirm that the contestant is clearly audible and visible. Contestant number 3, Suraj Singh. Suraj Singh, contestant number 3.
I was truly moved on. What an impressive speech. Contest chair, esteemed judges, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Test speaker Dipansha greeted all the audiences and started with a question which draw the rapt attention of all the audience. And she explained a few stories, how she faced some situation, adverse situation in COVID-19, and then she thought to develop an art, and then she came to know about mandala art, then she worked upon that, how she invested 8 hours of time, and then she also showed that how is mandala art, and using her hand gestures and body language, we were able to define, yes, this is a kind of mandala art. And I was moved on when her father kept that portrait in a room, and then they started worshipping that. So that was something which was motivating, because she worked upon that, and then obviously she got the result. She also talked about how we choose to be happy, to choose the people around us. There are so many people around us who are negativity, who are always there to downsize us, but it's we who can choose a certain environment where we can get motivation always. She uh, gave evidence, examples, and personal stories to support her purpose of the speech. With a few adjustments, the speech has potential to turn an already wonderful presentation into an exceptional piece. She could have smiled when she was talking about cartoon, right? There was a very less smile throughout the speech, right? As right now she's just speaking, I expected that she could have a smile. She was moving a bit on the I mean, she was using the space, moving to and fro, just a bit, but she could have moved. For example, when she was talking about coming back to nostalgia, so she was like this, then she could have moved that side. Now she talked about some quotation in the end that could have been emphasized, which she quoted Albert Einstein. The another recommendation where I would say she could have recapped in the end, in her summary of the speech, saying everything, how we get into the situation, COVID, then art, then everything, and then she motivated us. And she could have also asked for the call to action. To wrap up, the speech demonstrated a thorough understanding of personal stories, hand gestures, leaving the audience with a valuable take-home message. And now I would appreciate her efforts and all the best for future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'll request the tech master and timer to please bring in the next contestant. We'll observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. I'll request the timer to please show a red card after 1 minute is Thank you so much, timer. I can see contestant number 4 in the main room. Contestant number 4. Can you see the timer cards? You are muted. I'll request you to please unmute yourself.
Yes, I can see the card.
Can you please confirm the color of the card
It's green,
now? Which color it is now?
yellow,
Now.
red.
Thank you so much. Can you please repeat after me? It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
I confirm the contestant is clearly audible and visible and can see the timer cards. Contestant number 4, Akshat Pandey. Akshat Pandey, contestant number 4.
Thank you, Toastmaster. What an interesting speech by the test speaker. Interesting because it helps us go back to a time when we would enjoy sceneries, when we would paint sceneries. And this in itself tells us that there could be certain dormant attributes that you would have. And there are certain events in life that make you rediscover that. That's exactly how the speaker triggers an emotion in all of us. And that's exactly how she discovers a dormant trait in her. And that's drawing. She also takes us through a journey of discovering how she matures into drawing not just sceneries but objects, images, and she goes to a great extent in describing how she creates a personification of Lord Shiva. And that's when we realize that the speaker has a very vivid imagination, and she just enjoys herself in drawing. We also get to see that she is not thinking too much about what others are, what other, how others perceive her art. And she's quite happy in the fact that she is enjoying and she has her close relatives liking her art. So this in a way indicates that one should not be worried too much about what others would think and should continue to hone his or her skills. Now coming to the commendations part, we can see that she has got a great imagination and she has got a great talent. She beautifully constructs and creates a story, and she ably justifies it with her progress. So that's great about it. Coming to the recommendations, while she starts off on a very interesting note and she weaves a very good story, I feel that she is rushing through the conclusion and she could have been a lot more elaborate in the way she concludes. Other than that, it would have been great to understand why she thinks that others would not receive her or perceive her in good terms, or rather would appreciate her art. So with that, I thank her for delivering such a nice speech. And this indeed is a lesson for all of us to look inwards and rediscover
I request the timer to please pause the timing. I believe there is a major technical glitch on Akshar's side. No worries, we already saw the red card. I think we can go ahead if Chief Judge allows. Thank you so much, Chief Judge. I request the timer to please bring in the last contestant in the main room and please show the red card once 1 minute is over.
Should I start?
We are observing 1 minute of silence for the judges. I'll request you to please stay on mute. Thank you so much, timer. I can see contestant number 5 in the main room. I am spotlighting him. I request you to please unmute and confirm whether you can see the timer cards or not.
Yes, I can see.
Which color it is?
Green, yellow,
Now,
red.
thank you so much. I'll also request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a contest.
It's a beautiful day to have a contest.
I confirm the contestant is clearly audible and visible and can see the timer cards. Contestant number 5, Honey Agarwal. Honey Agarwal, contestant number 5.
Joy and happiness is the essence of life, isn't it? That was such a wonderful speech, uh, Toastmaster Bipasa. The moment I heard your topic, rediscovering joy, I was very keen on knowing how did you discover joy, and I did so during your story. You stuck a The speaker stuck a chord with the audience when she narrated how she drew her first picture of river and herds, and that's the way I have also done it. It took me to my first standard when I was sitting on the bench and drawing that my first picture. It's another story that I have drawn that in the years to come. You mentioned the character. The speaker also mentioned the comic character of Sinchan, which took me to my school days. I can feel my emotion rising when the speaker mentioned how her father, after seeing the picture that speaker drew of Lord Shiva, he wanted to put it in the temple and worship it. It took me to my days of when I was in standard 7. And I wrote a poem, and I when my mother saw it and she wanted to keep it and show it to my father, I felt so embarrassed. So it connected to me so well. And to take this her speech from good to great, the speaker could avoid long pauses. I felt disconnected for a moment, and I could understand that other audience might also have been disconnected with the speaker for that time. The speaker could also avoid the filler words that she used so often in her speech. So to summarize the speech, I would tell that the speaker is a great storyteller. She can struck a chord with the audience. She can connect with the emotions of the audience. Only she have to work on her long pauses and avoid filler words, and the speech will be from good to great. I wish the speaker Vipasha a very great uh, uh, future on public speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballots and submit their ballots to the chief judge. I request the timer to please notify once 2 minutes are over. Thank you so much, timer. Chief judge, should we wait? Do you need more time to collect your ballots, chief judge?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be announcing the results towards the end together of both the evaluation and table topic contest. But from this point of time, no protest will be entertained as we officially end this evaluation speech contest of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. Congratulations, everyone. Should I? Okay, now we will begin with the tabletop contest because we already are going over time. It is 5:30 now. So I request everyone to please be on camera. All the contestants specifically to please be on camera. And we have Archita, Richa, Hani, Akshat, Suraj. Okay. So I'll not be rereading the rules because the rules almost are same. The only thing that differs here is we don't have a test speech and the timing of the speaker, timing of the table topic is 1 to 2 minutes. Timer will show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and at 2 minutes the red card will be shown. Please note anyone who speaks for 1 minute till 2 minutes 30 seconds is qualified. That means only 30 seconds buffer is on the above side. So please keep a note of that. No specific indication will be given for overtime. Chief Judge, I have 5 topics ready with me. I'll request you to please select any number. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I also can see Shubham. Shubham, will you be participating in the table topic contest?
So, Susan, Mani, I'm traveling also. And then
Okay,
later,
no worries.
if you can be there.
No worries, no worries. So we'll go ahead with the same sequence. Toastmaster Archita, then Suraj, then Akshat, and then Honey. Chief Judge, I have 5 topics with me. I request you to please select one number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Before I select topic, can I just request the other contestants specifically for table topics contest to be renamed as per their order?
We are going ahead with the same order. The only thing is, after Honey, we have Toastmaster Richa as well. So I'm renaming her as C6. C6 is Richa and C4 is Toastmaster Akshat. Please select any one number between 1 to 5, including 1 and 5.
Okay, thank you. I'll choose to select 3.
3. I'm sharing the topic over WhatsApp with you. In the meantime, I'll request the timer to please escort all the other contestants to the breakout room. And please be on camera throughout as you stayed on cam during the evaluation session as well. I request you to please be on camera throughout the session. We can see all the other contestants are there in the breakout room. Chief Judge, would you like to go in the breakout room and check? Okay, even. We'll start as soon as he comes. I can see Chief Judge in the room. Toastmaster Jatin, you got the topic over WhatsApp. Are we good to go? Great. I can see contestant number 2 is all set. I'm spotlighting her. Toastmaster Archita, I request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
Can you see the timer cards?
Yes. Blue, green, yellow, red.
Timer, I request you to please raise your hand. Thank you so much. So Contestant number 2, Archita Baranwal. No response is a response. No response is a response. Contestant number 2, Archita Baranwal.
Have you all ever texted to somebody who gives no response? Or ever tried to talk to somebody who just like give responses like this? Doesn't it irritating? After joining Toastmasters, I was not very uh, I was not very excited to get into leadership roles. And recently I got into one where where I approach people and I get no responses. And it happens many times and it triggers me mentally. I feel frustrated and lots of things happens. So I met a person, like I was talking to a person recently, and after some time, I was just stopped getting responses from his side. It happens once, then twice, and thrice. Then after third time, I got a kind of like I got my answer that he's not into like talking and responding. So whenever someone gives no response, it is also a response that he don't want to respond. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like we are able to accept this, but sometimes we are not. And this is not something we used to get upset over. What I felt myself, I got very upset, but after a point of time I realized they doesn't matter for me. I mean, they doesn't matter after an extent. So whenever it happens to you, do not lose yourself mentally. Stay calm, and this is very normal. I was not able to accept it in the starting that it is not normal. No, nobody can do this to me, but it is normal. So stay calm and happy. Thank you. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. I request the timer to please confirm once 1 minute is over and also bring back the contestant number 3. Thank you so much, timer. I can see contestant number 3 in the main room. Master Suraj, can you see the timer cards?
Yes.
Which color it
Green,
is?
green, yellow, red.
Thank you so much. I request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
I confirm the contestant can see the timer cards and is clearly audible and visible. Contestant number 3, Suraj Singh. No response is a response. No response is a response. Contestant number 3, Suraj Singh.
I have a story to share with all of you. One day, I was just reading something in my room, and one of my friend came in the room and stood in front of me, and he was telling something to me. especially. And I was unaware of that. Later on, when he asked, and I responded nothing. Then exactly I can tell you that the person who came and the things he was asking, that was unrelated to me, that was totally something which we in day-to-day life we ignore. That is something which is very, very irritating. And at that moment, I was doing something important. And I was just engrossed in that particular reading habits that I couldn't understood him. And I think that response was quite enough to tell him that I was doing something and I was not supposed to be disturbed. And still he later on started asking me, hankering me lots of things, which even made me a bit more irritating. And I just told him that I was doing something. It means if I'm not responding, if I didn't respond to you at that time, it means your words had no value to me. So indeed, that response, zero response, was a great response for him. Back to Contestia.
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. I request the timer to please show the red card once 1 minute is over and also bring the next contestant. Thank you so much, timer. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Akshat. Can you see the timer cards?
Yes.
Which color?
Green,
Now,
yellow, yellow, red.
can you please repeat after me? It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
Thank you so much. I confirm contestant is clearly audible and visible and can see the timer. Contestant number 4, Akshat Pandey. No response is a response. No response is a response. Contestant number 4, Akshat Pandey.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters and dear guests. How many times it has happened to you that your phone has rung and you have decided not to respond? That's exactly how we are doing it all the time. And it's more so the case, especially with the generation of today. So would you blame it on the generation itself? Or would you blame it on the fact that technology is all pervasive and it is not giving us the option to respond in the way we like? I would like to quote an example. A friend of mine believes that if you have a cell phone, you should always be ready to answer the calls that you get. And that's where I exactly disagree with him. I personally feel that the modern day technology has left us no options but to always look at responding to any triggers. So therefore, I feel that we have to become very much receptive of inputs that we are getting from other people. And no response is also an input. Another example that I would like to quote is, and this might be true for some of you as well, then when I would get matrimony calls from prospective matches, my parents would always say to go back and respond that you are interested or not interested. So I would always have this weirdness in me to not respond to calls wherein I had to decline, right? And till till today, I am very much adamant on the fact that more inputs and more talking may actually make your case worse. So why not just stay silent and let the other party interpret what he or she feels like? As they say, silence says it all. And that's what I feel what we should be doing. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. I request the timer to please show the red card after 1 minute is over and also bring in the next contestant to the main room. A quick update. Chief Judge contestant number 3, Toastmaster Surya, requested me. He left the meeting because he has some professional commitments. So just to keep a note. Thank you so much, timer. I can see Toastmaster Honey in the main room. Toastmaster Honey, can you see the timer cards?
Yes,
Which color it is?
still blue,
Timer.
green, yellow, red.
Thank you so much. I request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
It, it is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
I confirm the contestant can see the timer cards and clearly audible and visible. Contestant number 5, Honey Agarwal. No response is a response. No response is a response. Contestant number 5, Honey Agarwal.
When the word response comes to your mind, what do you think? Right? I'm also thinking the same thing. Whenever something is said or told to you or situation happens, you have to respond. You have to reply or respond. So what does this mean? You might have seen that a lot of people they react. So reaction happens when you are not prepared. But when you are not prepared, you don't know what would be the outcome also. Sometimes you say something which you might regret in the hindsight. Later when you sit down and think, oh, what I have said, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. But when you respond, it's a totally different ballgame altogether. You go through the situation, you hear something that someone has told you assess the situation, you take your own time, and then think it through and then you respond or reply. So you also know what would be the outcome of that situation, and you will also be prepared, well prepared to again reply or respond. Just the way you have seen the war that is going on between Israel and Iran. Iran has fired more than 100 rockets in Israel, but Israel did not react. It consulted with different people. It consulted with US. It consulted with other powers. And then yesterday there was a response from Iran, from Israel to Iran. So it was a well thought out response. And Iran also understands that it has to accept what it has happened. So at the end, I would like to say it is very easy to react, but it is not easy to respond. But then when you respond properly, you know what is out. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, contestant number 5. We will observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. I request the timer to bring in the last contestant and show the red card once 1 minute is over. I request all the other contestants who are done speaking to please be on camera throughout. Thank you so much, timer. I can see the last contestant in the room. Toastmaster Richa, can you see the timer cards?
Yes,
Which color it is?
green, yellow, red.
Thank you so much. I request you to please repeat after me. It is a beautiful day to have a table topic contest.
It is a beautiful day to have a table topics
Contest.
contest.
I confirm. I confirm contestant is clearly audible and visible and can see the timer cards. Contestant number 6, Richa. No response is a response. No response is a response. Contestant number 6, Richa.
Then, uh, when we want to avoid someone, then we don't respond them. And because this is actually a response in silently way. And this is sometimes very important because if we don't do this, people think like unnecessary about us. So we have to do this with them who take advantage about me and about us. So, and silently way is a good way actually. We don't talk much sometimes. So, in my opinion, I'm always doing this with my friends, with my co-workers, because they're always doing with me, like calling again and again, again and again. They think that I'm robot, but I can't work like in night and I'm doing something. They call me, Richa, do one thing, but I don't want to do that. I have like other doing things. So this is
Thank you so much. Now we will observe 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballot and submit their ballot to the chief judge. I'll request the timer to please show once 2 minutes are over. Thank you so much, timer. Chief judge, are we ready with the results?
Still collating for table topics, but I was thinking whether we should announce the results or just provide, since this is a mock contest, just provide the evaluation with respect to the judges' ballot rather than saying who the winners are. Would that be okay?
Yes, it will be if we can wind it up in next 10 to 15 minutes because it is already 6.
Alrighty. So then we have 20 minutes, right? 10 minutes to end the meeting after that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So just give me 1 minute and then I'll be. Meanwhile, you can have an interview with the contestants.
Thank you so much. So before the interviews, I would like to request all of you to please unmute and give a huge round of applause to all the participants who came up on stage and actually participated in the mock contest, both in evaluation and table topics. Hardest congratulations everyone for participating. This actually needs courage, and I know when I joined in, I took 2 to 3 years to participate. But hats off to you all that you already are on stage and contesting with each other. So I was asked to take an interview, but I'll not take any of the interviews because I don't have a brief about your. I would like to ask a simple question. How exactly was the feeling? This was your very first or maybe the second contest. How was the feeling? Susmasha Archita.
I was nervous, if I tell you in one word, because I have not done evaluations, speech evaluations much. Before this, I've done just one or two speech evaluation. That too, not like I at that time also did not know how like evaluation contest work. But after the evaluation workshop and all these things, I knew, but while experiencing, it was so much more than what I thought while doing those exercises and preparation. I also got confused with the timer cards that when I saw the green card, I just thought the 1 minute is over because generally table topics is something going on in my mind, and I missed that part. I was like, okay, commendation while giving commendations, why the time is not showing a red card, like a green card? I'm giving it from so long. Then after seeing the green card and yellow card, I realized that it is already 2.5 minutes are over, and I missed my like something happened. So uh, I it happened. I don't know why nervousness or what, but yeah, I'm extremely nervous. And while giving table topics, I felt in starting I was nervous, but I had already prepared in my mind that how I have to start. The topic was quite relatable too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We all feel those jitters when we come and speak, especially when we participate in the contest. Thank you so much. I can see next on screen Toastmaster Richa. It was the very first time you participated Toastmaster Richa. What exactly was the feeling that you went through?
Same. I was nervous too much and I just want to speak at least 1 minute because I never spoke for 1 minute. So just I want to be confident.
You already were confident while you were speaking. Thank you so much for participating in the mock contest. And all the very best for the next contest. Next on screen is Toastmaster Akshat. Toastmaster Akshat, what was going on in your mind while you participated and even when you were in the breakout room?
So I felt like running away, honestly, when the spotlight was put on me, especially during evaluation, because I had done a bit of informal chit chat with Honey in the breakout rooms, and I was enjoying that. And all of a sudden, I got that invite to be an evaluator, and I can empathize with how Jatin does it every time so well, and he manages to stay relevant as well as unique every time. So I feel evaluation is a big challenge because it requires a lot of spontaneity, which is not the case when you are actually speaking, because in prepared speeches you have already thought about, worked on it for a week or two. But in evaluation, I find it to be challenging. Table topics was fine. I mean, table topic, even though anything that is impromptu would always have this level of discomfort. So not my cup of tea, but fine. I mean, I enjoyed it.
The best part about contest is the informal chit chat that we do in the breakout room. That actually releases our tension. So thank you so much for sharing that aspect as well, Toastmaster Akshat. Next is Toastmaster Honey. Toast Honey, I have a very different question for you. You were the last contestant in both the, not exactly in both, but in one contest. And you were last second in the second contest. What went through your mind when you were waiting for your turn?
Yeah, wait is not easy, but it also gives you time to be prepared, especially in the evaluation. Table topic is spontaneous; you cannot do anything about it. But for evaluation, yes, it helped me a little bit. So this was my first evaluation. I have never done any evaluation before that, and 2 days before we had a mock session with Ma'am Smita. So that told me a little bit of pointers, gave me a little bit of structure, see how to go from your introduction to commendation, then commendation, and then recommendation, and then to summarize it. Uh, on the paper, it looked very easy, but when it came to actually evaluating, it's not easy. And I think Akshat has summed it up very well, that how the seasoned evaluator like Jatin and others, how they give the evaluation and stay relevant to the facts and figures. On the table topic, now I know what was the topic. I only heard respond. I did not hear before what was said of respond. Now I'm just okay. Maybe I was not that relevant, but it's okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. And we all heard a name, Toastmaster Jatin. So why not let's hear from Toastmaster Jatin what exactly he has in store for all of us. Toastmaster Jatin, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Contest Master. I would like to request everyone to put your hands together once again for a wonderful contest conducted by our very own contest master, tech master, come backend coordinator, come everything here, Manvi, with very able support, our very own Samay time Dev timer. Thank you for being helping us out with that. We also have our past area director, Toastmaster Punita Singer, who has been in the audience for some time.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Yes, yes,
thank you
yeah.
for joining in after such a long time.
Yeah. Actually, Toastmaster Achita told me that there is some mock kind of evaluation or mock kind of this thing contest is going on. So I thought of joining in and seeing what's happening in TMCL now. I have always been TMCL has always been very close to me because it was part of F1 before also. So I thought of joining in today and see new faces. I saw new faces today and it was very exciting. The way every time before the contest, TMCL has so much of mock kind of contest and other thing being conducted so that its members have some idea about how our contest is conducted. So that's always a good idea. So yeah.
Thank you, Punita. We are as much a privilege to have so that you have joined us, and uh, it was also fortunate that your mentee is our Vice President Education and also participating in this contest, Toastmaster Ajita. And she pointed out that my mentor is still a area director. Yes, Punita is still an area director for Area F1, but she's no longer as an area director for our club, which is what I meant. But yes, Punita is still a area director. But that being said, let's move on to not the results, but sort of an evaluation with respect to the judges' ballot for today's contestants. While everybody has been sort of taking my name, saying that I am a seasoned Toastmaster and do good evaluations, I'd like to point out that last year's evaluation contest, at club level contest, I did not fare very well, and so there are people. One of them was contestant today, who went up to the area level, was Suraj Singh, and this being his second contest, that was his first contest ever, and he came second at the club level. While Toastmaster Archana was first, and both of Archana and Suraj represented TMCL at the area level. So there are people. It matters on that day how do you go about it, and that's what we are here to practice. So let's first talk about evaluation contest. Dipasha is not here, but it was such a wonderful speech. Rediscovering joy made us definitely rediscover, made us not nostalgic and rediscover joy for ourselves. What joy means to us. That being said, each of the contestants had really a good opening in sense of how did they connect this either the title or the speech itself to what did it mean for them. So starting with Archita, who had a quote. I didn't note out the quote, but it was a very relevant quote at that time, but what I heard. Suraj had a sort of subdued opening, saying that what a wonderful speech. It meant so much to me, which I thought could be built upon. Like, and both Honey and so the difference between Honey and Archita in that sense is both use a quote, but Honey actually went on ahead and said how did it connect with the how did he connect with the quote? How did it connect was how was the quote relevant? What did the quote mean with respect to the title? Because he also mentioned that he was as soon as he had the title, he was very keen to get the speech, and then he followed it up with a personal story. So that's something that I'd suggest to Achita. When you are using a quote, it would be also to follow it up with a message about how's that quote relevant or what did it mean to you over the speech. Uh, Akshay didn't use the quote, but he mentioned it was an interesting speech, and how was it? But what was it? What it made it interesting? Was it made it? Uh, why did why did it seem that the speech was interesting to him? Which is what you need to follow up with everything in commendations and recommendations. Mention the why. If it is good, Why do you feel it is good? If it is not good or it needs improvement, why do you think so? And additionally, how it needs supposed to be improved. So let's look at the commendations that's been made first. Archita, he talked about the imagery that has been made by choice of words, body gestures and body language. Good. Suraj also had similar suggestions about gestures. And Akshat, story building. Good point to cover. I think that's also mentioned by Honey as to she was a storyteller with her stories. There was so much connect that was built. Instead, it was so much connect that Hani also mentioned two of his personal stories. Now, that is a good thing to do. The only suggestion that I have there is lessen your story, because the focus is on speech that's being delivered. So yes, you could quickly mention, yes, because of the story, I got reminded of this, but your second story went too long, is what I felt. So that's something that could have been shortened. Either you just mention one story because I thought that was a good thing. You mentioned, sorry, you mentioned the connect, and then that's why you think your person is a good storyteller and you had a personal connect. There also you had mentioned we had a connect, which is, no, not you, sorry. So the second story either could have been skipped or you could have combined both the things in one, saying, at this instant, I was reminded of this. At this instant, I was reminded of this. So these examples show that the person is a good storyteller and can connect with the audience. So to not, please avoid focusing too much on yourself. In terms of recommendations, Archita focus again on facial expressions, emotions, and towards the end she mentioned speech purpose, which is came out as an afterthought, because if you think the speech purpose needed improvement, which I personally feel it did too, because the speech was rediscovering joy, and even though she mentioned everything about rediscovering joy, towards the end she gave two quotes. One was about creativity and other was about success. Now, how did that success come into picture? Wasn't really built upon in the speech. So it was again during the speech, the conclusion part came out so towards the end, and then wasn't expanded enough. So it was not clear why was that brought upon. So if you think that confused the purpose of what was the purpose of speech, please mention that upfront, because when you look and judges are looking at your analytical quality, and they are looking at whether you are like we discussed yesterday, rather than just looking at what's visible to you in terms of delivery, they're also looking at what's being delivered and whether that purpose has been met or not, and how did the speech help in meeting that purpose. Similarly, the good thing about how Suraj did it was he mentioned about smile. Okay, your smile, how could you, just like how you're smiling now, if you could have smiled during the speech, that would have been good. So that's sort of giving an instance of how you can improve upon. Movement, he showed the movement because he was standing and delivering, and he showed that movement that could be done. He used a quotation and asked to recap, and also call to action. Again, the call to action, how could have the speaker given a call to action? Just saying that you could have given a call to action is not enough. What should the speaker have done in order to give that call to action is also needs to be mentioned. That's important. So similarly, same thing, feedback for Akshat. You mentioned that she was rushing to the conclusion. You mentioned why you mentioned it. Why do you think so? But as the how part, what should she have done instead, is something that was not mentioned there. From recommendations perspective, Honey, being a first evaluation, I think this was really good up till the instance where you mentioned the recommendation, because the only recommendations you had were long pauses and filler words, which are generally as in not the most high priority or high weightage recommendations in terms of, at least from the context perspective, is that you, if the recommendations are not positive as you would see them pilot, or very clear as to what exactly is either related to whether the speech message was conveyed properly or not, or in terms of delivery being slightly lower priority, it is these long pauses and filler words is our counter and grammarian's job. So that's generally people even tend to avoid during the contest itself. So and even if you, let's say, even if you mention long pause and filler words, where was that long pause? Give an example. what impact did it have? So if you had a long, where did she exactly? She at one instance she was trying to recollect because I think she forgot her speech. So that was good long pause. If you've given that instance and then mentioned that sort of broke the flow for you, that would have been good. Even if considering this recommendation, this is what the recommendation that you wanted to give. Last but not least, summary. For summary, which is very important, 15 points on the ballot for summary. So Akshat got disconnected and therefore had no summary. So you would have technically either been rated very low or zero. People also get zero if you do not provide summary. Summary is very important. So please do not forget to summarize and don't wait until the red flag to start your summary. And for that goes for Archita and Suraj because your summary started at red flags. So either immediately at the yellow flag or 10-15 seconds, not more than that. 10 seconds into the yellow flag, your summary should start so that A, you have enough time for that, and B, it doesn't sort of cross the time. That being said, that reminds me that there is a disqualification in evaluation contest based on time. And generally, you're not told who got disqualified. But in this instance, I can tell because there's a mock contest. Akshat had already spoken a lot before he got disconnected. So your timings were beyond the eligibility or limit. Everybody's technique was sympathetic, sensitive, motivational. Everybody had sort of boosted the speaker in terms of what they had seen. But the summary part, especially like Honey's summary, that he was very focused on what he had spoken. These are the things. You are a good storyteller. You've made personal connect, and you did this, and then went on to win. Another, in terms of recommendations, I've already given what that. More suggestion is in order to structure your evaluation speech. Do not, if you can cut down the unnecessary aspects, like generally in meetings, we do tell, okay, now in order to move your speech to the next level, it would be good if you do that. But I felt, especially Archita, you sort of were recollecting that a lot, and that's where your flow was broken. Then that sentence actually can be avoided. You can just move on saying, this is a speech, this is what I felt about it, these are the good points, and what I felt you could also improve upon was this, because this is what I felt. You don't need to even mention that sentence now, and let me suggest to give a couple of suggestions, because that's honestly taking your time. And if you express it, I think Akshay did well from that perspective, is he directly put in the recommendations and then went on saying, this is what I felt could have been changed, without having to focus a lot of time there, because that saves you time, and it's evident from how you're expressing it. It's a recommendation, and not emphasizing that it's a recommendation also is a good quality, because then you're not sort of saying, oh, until now I was speaking good about you, now I'm telling something that sort of you're not bifurcating your thing. It should be evident from your transitions and how you're speaking out. That's so a lot of evaluation speeches, winning speeches that I've seen do try to do that. They don't sort of mention this statement at all. From table topics perspective, again, there is one disqualification with respect to time, that being Akshat again. Akshat, I think you need to definitely work on your time management for speech. In terms of feedback, Archita, you set the stage, very relevant, because at least I personally felt connected, because I know how your predicament in terms of using this being a vice president education of the club and following up with people. I understand how you are troubled with that thing, but that way, in this context, that was a good example to be chosen, because people are already aware what you're talking about, and you would have seen smiles. Even contest master was smiling. I'm not sure whether I have been guilty of doing that to Archita, but I'm not sure if she was as well. That's why she was speaking, smiling rather. But the opening was good. You had an example. You mentioned it, what has to win, and then it was good that you had a message. Okay, what happens if this happens? Do not get flustered. What you need to do is just stay calm and see this is what people need. But that came on too late. That was a good message. You had set the stage for it, but it came on too late in the speech that it couldn't be built upon. It couldn't be emphasized enough for the speaker, or for the audience rather. Suraj had a different kind of take on this, where he talked about his personal side, where he's not responding and why is he not responding. Again, the story was good, example was good. He didn't start with the message, his message for the audience, which is what Archita did. It was very evident what she meant when, as soon as she started the story, because she asked a question. For others, for Suraj, it was more about, this is my story, and it very much later in the thing it meant, because this is why I have not been responding. So what I felt was the story sort of got elongated. It could have been shortened a bit. The part where he said I was not doing it because second time in the second middle half of the story, middle part of the story, it was more about, oh, I was not responding. He still is still he's messaging me. I'm getting frustrated and things like that. Avoid that. Come to the gist of your story at the earliest, and then close it all. And just like his suggestion to the speaker, what was his call to action? What did he want us to do? That was not very evident, because he's told his first story. This is why he's not responding. But whether he wants us to not respond, or he was asking us to be aware of when people are not responding, what should we do? Neither of us was really mentioned clearly in his speech. I have 1 minute left, but let me quickly summarize this. So, Hani, why the idea was react versus response. So that's sort of slightly away from what I think the contest masters have thought about the topic, and which is what the judges will think as well. They will gauge you on whether you are good, whether you either stick to the topic or you come up with a unique perspective that is nobody else has come up with. So from that perspective, yes, you went in a different direction. But if it is totally orthogonal, like it is not related to the topic itself, then that will sort of cause then judges will mark you low on that. So for example, the effectiveness section of the ballot has something called logic. So logic should be either, like I said, very point to the point, or it should be unique, that sort of brings out a different perspective that is not tangential. So here, even though your response seemed to be thought out, you're not reacting to the topic, which is what I liked about things, that the way you were speaking was actually you're demonstrating. So this is a good, what I liked about your speech is you were really thinking about the topic and responding to what do you think about it. I felt it was slightly off, which you realize as well. So that's where you need to focus on. Take a couple of seconds. It's not immediate. You need not start the response immediately. Take a couple of seconds. 5 to 10 seconds is allowed in order for you to start the speech, and then that would be good enough to build your, or at least key message that you want to do. For Richa, good attempt at first ever contest level table topics. Short and sweet. You need not speak for entire 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So it's suggested that you utilize the time as much as possible, because one thing is speech development part, right? Opening, body, and close. So you had a story, you went directly jump into the story, and you shared the story, and you said, okay, this is the reason, which was evident, that I do not like to be troubled. That's why I do not respond, and this is why I do it. But if you build upon it, right, you do not have to preach. You don't have to tell the audience, say, oh, this is what you should do. But say it from your own perspective. If we could be aware of other people's personal space, and if they are not responding, let them be, understand, and then take some time. But if there is urgent, call them up, talk to them. How do they want to clarify things? That would be good. So that's just a simple statement that will give a key message from your own perspective, and then that would sort of close it off. Because speech development, opening, body, and close is very important. 30 points on the judge's ballot. You have to have that opening, body, and closure. Otherwise, you will not be considered. Smoothness is also an aspect. That is one thing that I felt Akshat was lacking in table topic speech, is smoothness, because you were sort of thinking very slowly and speaking, and that sort of can be avoided if you can sort of talk at a pace we can also think, but not feel like you are thinking. That would be good. One more suggestion that you had, you said at the end, very end, your second story, the marriage story, started too late. Too late. Talk again. That's why you got disqualified, because you were speaking beyond the buffer, because you start too late, and then you also mentioned it sometimes responding makes things worse. How, and because that story came so late, you didn't have time. How did it make it worse? Why would it make it worse? It wasn't very mentioned that. So that speech development part of it and smoothness part is something that can be worked. A suggestion for both evaluators and table topics: physical. In evaluation, there are no points on delivery aspect, but in table topics there is a section for 15 minutes for physical, that is appearance and body language. Appearance and body language and speaking areas. Try to use that to the fullest in your speech, in a table topic speech as well, even though it has less weightage compared to a prepared speech, but still has weightage there. The voice and flexibility also needs to be looked at. If you speak on monotone, just like I've been doing for past 20 minutes, it is not good, because otherwise people would come up on camera and help, then indicate that it's almost time, let's end it, which is what I have got. I've got 4 minutes over, but I have a last comment. Appropriateness and correctness in terms of language is a factor on judges' palette for table topics. So try to avoid grammar mistakes. You don't have to be superfluous with words, because superfluous is not even required to be spoken, but I choose to speak right now. But you do not have to be extravagant. You do not have to go over. You don't have to go over, but stick to basics. Choose words that audience can understand, and also without any, so that you don't make any pronunciation or grammatical mistakes while trying to be that extravagant. That's pretty much it. That's it from my side. I've got 5 minutes overboard, and it is over to you, contest master.
Thank you so much, Susma Sujatan. Can we give a huge round of applause, floating and all the round of applause that we can see for the evaluation and the feedback that he mentioned. For more detailed feedbacks, if you want to get, please connect with him over WhatsApp, because right now I don't have time. And I would like to officially wind up the mock contest, the mock evaluation and table topic contest of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. The main contest details will be shared over WhatsApp. That was all. Thank you so much.